And welcome to my NXT review. I am a little late on this review. There was a lot of computer problems last night, and you know what? I'd rather just wait until the next day to do the review with a fresh mind and give a little bit more of my full thoughts on NXT and what's going on in the show right now. I do want to discuss some other things too in regards to NXT, and I know this was a news story yesterday. I know before NXT, before it came on the air. I guess I said something about this last time during the whole ACH situation. I guess he quote unquote quit WWE. Pretty much said fuck him. Don't call him Jordan Miles. That was his slave name. At this point, I'm just assuming. Well, I know he's trying to get fired, but listen, ACH can quit, but you still probably gotta sit for I don't know how long his contract is, but when you have to sit another 3 years depending on his contract and just sit at home and get paid. I've said this before about ACH, because he said he was doing for the culture and everything. Listen, I agreed mostly on what he said. I did. In regards to the whole shirt situation, I know some people may look at this as some mental thing. The only thing I just think he was a little bit off the wall on was the whole Ring of Honor Jay Lethal thing. I just don't agree with the whole shit he said about Jay Lethal. That was just some questionable shit. Most of everything else I almost fell. Most of everything else he kind of just said about the shirt, but then he was exposing people, and I don't know, man. I just don't know. Okay, I'm assuming if he's just trying to get fired, at least he's just trying to get his contract terminated. I don't know, because he did say a warning on Twitter last week if WWE wasn't going to do nothing, he was going to make it known. But I guess he quit, so I don't know if it's going to be released from his contract right now. But he did quit the WWE, so I don't know, man. And if he does leave, I don't know what other company he's going to, because some people think he's either killing his career, or who's going to work with this guy, or they're not going to keep dealing with this bullshit that's going on right now. Because listen, I know what I've heard from the story with the shirt and everything, or maybe it's worse, I don't know. But like I said, I agreed on most of what he said, though. Okay, I did. Shit he said about Hogan and others, okay. It's just, like I said, the Ring of Honor Jay Lethal thing threw me off, and maybe these email things to an extent. But you talk about how the WWE system is called. Listen, I've known about that shit for a long time. I'm sure everybody knows about the whole WWE system, how it's run over there, okay? But I don't know if he does leave. Does he go to AEW? Some people say he's even going to go to AEW because Jay Lethal's got friends over there. He's not going back to ROH. That's a fact. He pretty much said fuck him. New Japan, he was there for a minute. MLW, he was there also, I believe. I don't think Impact would want to touch him. I don't know if AEW want to touch him. The NWA, I don't know if they want to touch him. I don't know, man. We'll see what happens with the whole ACH thing. But I just had to say something about the video he put out, pretty much saying fuck WWE and they can fuck off, and he quit. So we'll see where this plays into. I'm just going to say that. I do not think this is a work, by the way. I don't know why people think that. This ain't no damn work, okay? I don't see how any of this is a fucking work. Because someone tried to tell me, it could be a work. Who is he working? Who the fuck is he working? I asked you that. Who's he working? But, next, let's go into the show itself, as NXT pretty much aired stuff. Highlights from last week. We kicked off the show with Lio Rush versus Angel Garza for the Cruiserweight Championship. Lio Rush's family was in, the front of the crowd right there. His kids, wife, parents, I think grandparents, in-laws and stuff. He was there to be the referee. And this was just a fucking fantastic match. This was, you want to talk about kicking off the show, right? They put on a fantastic match out there. I enjoyed it. It was amazing, okay? These guys, they shook hands, of course, and just doing I don't know, man, the dodges these guys do just looks insane. But when Garza Jr. I thought this was great. Guy just jumps the barricade, rips his pants off in front of his wife. Rush is just pissed off, then hit him with a big suicide dive, and then a tornado DDT in the ring, going for another suicide dive, but runs into Garza. It just hits him with a power slam that looked like it just flowed like water when he just just ran into him like that. It was insane. Rush tried to hit him with that stunner, but Garza was able to dodge it. And then Garza in with a right knee. He was gonna go for that wing clipper thing, but Rush got out of it. He tried to do the springboard stunner, but Garza with which I thought this was cool. This was like one of the coolest spots. This dude went for that springboard stunner, and Garza just hits him with a shotgun drop kick in midair that just looked insane. Okay, it was crazy. Fans chanting NXT. They pretty much gonna go for the top rope. Then after that, one thing I loved from this was Garza doing a fucking fallaway slam or power slam moonsault from the top rope. I almost thought it was gonna be over from there, but he kicked out. Rush pretty much had grabbed Garza, get him from that whole moonsault he was gonna do off the ropes. Garza ended up going back across the ropes till Rush hit him with the Spanish fly. In Rush pretty much he took Garza, he got a kick on him, he got another springboard stunner, but he held on to him for a second. Pretty much went for a second one he was gonna go for, but Garza grabbed him, he hit him with the wing clipper, and he kicked out of the first finish. Garza was gonna go for the top rope and get him with a big wing clipper, but Rush got out of there then, pretty much headbutting him. Both guys headbutt each other. Rush he pretty much got Garza to the ground, and he ended up hitting the final hour, or the frog splash, basically, for the win. Which, notice though, they said Garza kicked out 2 at one point. Which is his foot was under the rope, but at the last second his foot was not under the rope, so it counted as a 3. Some people are gonna call this a fuck finish. I'm sure that a lot are, but there's a lot you can take from that if it was a fuck finish or not. Okay, but overall, this was just a fantastic match, and I would love to see another rematch at Takeover. I'm all for it. If you want to do another rematch at NXT Takeover War Games, please do it. That was fucking great. I love this match. That was a great way to kick off the show. Next, they showed, I guess, Tegan Nox and Rhea Ripley were in the back on the ground somewhere. Security was checking, and it looked like someone had beat them up, and they were looking for the culprit, which I kind of figured it was going to be that night. Next, this was a rough one to watch, and I guess some people would say, well, they are. At the end of the day, NXT is developmental, but then these are developmental talent right here. Xia Li versus Aaliyah. I feel like I've seen this match before. Aaliyah is not good. We all know that. I didn't know this girl. Like I said, I didn't know this girl was in the company that long. They say she's been in since 2015. I think she's been since she was 19, and it's like she is not improved. And I saw that kick she tried to do on Xia Li, and it just looked bad, like a running kick. It wasn't the worst match in the world, but Aaliyah is not good. Okay, she is not good at all, and I don't know, man, but she's just been in developmental for a long time. But yeah, but like I said, Aaliyah, she botched that running kick, like she just hit the air. She had a good Northern Lights. I didn't think it was the worst in the world, but the whole thing people were talking about right now was when Aaliyah got hit by a kick by Xia Li out there, like a second click. Somebody will say it was a wushu kick out there, and there was blood coming from her. It looked like, because the doctors had to get in and check her nose. It looked like. And at first, I didn't know if that was a legit kick, because I rewinded a couple times, and it looked like she did block it the second time. Her arms were up to protect herself, but to what I've read today, that she suffered a broken nose. Some people think the towel was gimmicked with the blood. I wasn't sure if it, or they were just trying to make, Xia Li look like a beast. And, I don't know that much about Xia Li, also, of how good she's in the ring and that, too, to what I've seen. But fans were either they were trying to blame Xia Li, or they were just blaming Aaliyah, because Aaliyah is not that good. She's not, okay? She's just not fucking good. And I don't know, man. I don't think the company's gonna release her or anything anytime soon. They've kept her around that long, but at this point, should I call this girl green? Because you've been in developmental for almost like forever, and I'm not seeing any improvement. Unless this is an angle, then maybe. I don't know. Maybe that meant to happen. But after I saw the photo, this girl, I don't think it looks like a bad injury. Hopefully the girl's not hurt that bad or anything, Aaliyah. But to what I've seen, a lot of people are either blaming her for it or they're blaming Zia Lee. Because some people would say that, well, she should have protected herself better and stuff. But I looked at it. She did put her arms up, but I don't know. Maybe the kick was that hard that it just went through and just hit her nose and everything. But it didn't look like it was like a bad nose. Hopefully, it wasn't too serious and she'll be back. But I don't think anybody really wants to see this. And I swear I've seen it now on NXT not that long ago. I think when they started going to TV anyways. But I don't know, man. Aaliyah, it's not working. Finn Balor came out talking about which of course he does his gun thing now, like it's Bullet Club, and he talked about like, what happened to this place, huh? What happened to the place I love? It's a joke now. People like Gargano is a joke, and it like they block a word out. I can hear, I don't know if it was muted. He's sick of all the boys crying backstage. All right, he's sick of all of this, and he talked about Matt Riddle, and that Matt Riddle will not be seen again. Matt Riddle ended up attacking Balor. Then as Balor get out of there, he went through the crowd. Riddle called him a putz. And he says, I'm right here. Next, Undisputed Era's music hits. They surround the ring. Tommaso Ciampa and Keith Lee come out then. They get in the ring with Riddle. Adam Cole pretty much says, we're the most powerful force in WWE. And he doesn't give a damn about any of you guys because the Undisputed Era can get in the ring and kick their ass and everything. Lee say he doesn't give a damn about what you guys need. Get your asses in the ring, all right? Listen, you did beat Daniel Bryan, and you went face-to-face with Seth Rollins, but let's see if you can stand up to me, Keith Lee. Strong got the microphone and says, like, you're an idiot, and he says Cole deserves a night off. He's been doing all these things, and he's had a strong run in WWE as late. And he says he challenged him to a match, and Lee says, I'm not picky, and he pretty much says, I accept the challenge. And pretty much then it was a match then after that, and it was a good promo, number one, which kind of transitioned to one another. Of course, Balor and his thing calling out Gargano, which, where the fuck is Gargano, by the way? I guess he's selling the injury in that. And Riddle getting involved, and of course we have to focus back on the War Games / Survivor Series going on too. The match itself, this was a very good match, by the way, or I call it Roderick Strong trying to survive Keith Lee. That's what it looked like to me throughout most of this match, but this was a great match overall. I figured the Undisputed Era, but they would be back in time to pretty much help Keith Lee, not Keith Lee, but they would be back to help Roderick Strong out there. Ciampa and Riddle came out, but next thing you know, out of nowhere, Balor, which I swear to God he missed that damn sling blade, hit a double stomp and a shotgun drop kick on Riddle onto the steps, leaving him pretty much down. And then pretty much Keith Lee was able to get the win over Roderick Strong. Thank God he didn't take the pinfall this time. After hitting with like a jackhammer for the win. Like I said, it was a good promo they had there also. But like I said before, they got the win. The Undisputed Era then pretty much started beating up Keith Lee. Ciampa tried to go for the save, but it could not work. But next thing you know, Donovan Dijak came out then. He pretty much took down both Red Dragon, threw out Strong, and then hit Cole with the Feast Your Eyes move, taking him out. He took him out, and then next thing you know, Dijak pretty much looked at Ciampa saying like, so you're going to war? And he wanted in. And he shook hands with Ciampa, but then he went to a face-to-face, a big face-to-face with Keith Lee then, because about their whole feud, and I guess Keith Lee was wondering if he could trust him or anything. But Lee pretty much, he gave a handshake since we're fighting on the same side and everything. I guess Ciampa had his team. It looked like what was going to happen. And this was a fun match overall with Keith Lee and Strong. But unfortunately, I thought Donovan Dijak was going to be the fourth person. That's who I thought was going to be. But then there was a match change. I guess Gargano, I don't know if Gargano's legitimately hurt or we're selling this injury that far, because I thought he would have been back before this takeover, but it will be Finn Balor versus Matt Riddle, which I think is going to be a great match to take over in Chicago. And now we got to find a fourth person. And I tell you right now, I think it's gonna be Dream. I honestly am. I thought Dream was gonna be the fourth person before until Dijak came out, but now since the change has happened again, now I'm sitting there thinking that I think Dream is gonna be the fourth man in this War Games thing, and Matt Riddle is now going against Finn Balor. That's now going to be an official match for a takeover. Like I said, I thought it was going to be Gargano and Balor, but I guess they want to wait on that if they want to, or Gargano's really hurt. I don't really know, but that's where I'm just kind of going off from that. But what else did they have going on here? But yeah, pretty much after that, it was a very long segment that kind of transitioned to a lot of things, but Pete Dunne, I guess, was getting ready for a match against Killian Dane. I don't really want to see that. But as Killian Dane came out, Damian Priest attacked him. There was a big brawl. Security came out. Pretty much, Priest had took out Dunne. That security was holding him to the outside of the ring. And then he took one of the security guys, hit like the big, like, awesome bomb or whatever you want to call it, border toss, like Razor's Edge. He threw pretty much one security guy out onto everybody to the outside of the ring, then taking them out, knocking them all to the ground. But as Keith Lee, why do I keep saying Keith Lee? But as Damian Priest was in the ring. Killian Dane, that's who I want to say. Killian Dane and Pete Dunne pretty much brawled, fighting up. But the next thing you know, pretty much Damian Priest runs. He looks what happens. He hits a top con helo. That one-legged top con helo he does pretty much the outside on everybody. This is most likely going to be a triple threat match, of course. Most likely a takeover. I don't know what. I don't know why they're trying to make Killian Dane still a thing around here. I like Damian Priest and Pete Dunne. It's like, I was having a conversation with somebody with Damian Priest today. They says, listen, Damian Priest is in a good spot right now. Keep him strong. Don't push him too hard or anything. Have cheap heap. But he's a good heel right now, and he's not saying much because he does have a voice, though. A very deep voice, similar to Loki's, in my opinion. But it's working for him right now, I will say that. Mia Yim was in the back because there were more people attacked tonight. More of Team Ripley and, the Four Horsewomen, Duke and Shafir were beat up then also. They were talking to me about all the attacks, and he says, you know what, she is in War Games, and she's going to war. Dakota Kai came in, pretty much didn't talk about, listen, no hard feelings. You were the better pick. I don't know what's going on, but we're just still cool, right? That's what she wanted to make sure. And we got to the main event with Mia Yim versus Io Shirai in a ladder match. Now, I have a lot to say about this ladder match. I like the ladder match. I did. I really did. And I think it was great. But it's funny that you have a ladder match tonight and then you're going to have a ladder match next week. You're going to War Games in like under a week or two. And in a way, I thought this match was a little bit unnecessary to have. Because I was talking to somebody last night about this. Okay, they're doing a ladder match and they're taking all these, sick bumps out there during this whole, and they took some sick bumps I'm going to get into in a second during this match, because this was a brutal ladder match, all right, and these guys, and both Yim and Shirai were really laying it out on the line out there. I think it was great, but, could they have just done a regular match just to determine who was going to get the advantage in War Games? Because I'm like, why are we doing a ladder match for? That's what I kept saying, but they said, this is the first ever women's ladder match we're doing on NXT, so that's what they wanted to put out. But they did some hard shots into the ladder, from Yim slamming Shirai on the ladder, or Yim doing a belly to belly, which, by the way, Shirai just like one leg hit it. And then, of course, the women brawled, and I remember Shirai kicking the ladder into Yim, hitting her face, where she started bleeding hard way, man, very hard way. I will say that. That was, which the referees had to get in and check Mia Yim due to her, I guess, the blood going against her and everything. But, the blood and everything, but she was she kind of was down for a minute, and the referees had to keep checking and everything. And Shirai ended up slamming Mia Yim on the ladder. She was about to climb up the ladder, it looked like, because it was a shotgun drop kick in the ladder that went in her face. That's where the blood started coming from. But I know Shirai gave Yim a German suplex off the ladder. Fans were with Mia as she was bleeding. Dakota Kai came out. Looked like she was trying to make some type of save. help, Mia Yim, but Shirai ended up doing a moonsault on both of them to the outside of the ring. Shirai climbed the ladder, but Dakota Kai stopped it for a second, and I gave her a power bomb. Pretty much then throughout this match, surprisingly, Mia Yim was climbing. Kaylee Ray, the NXT UK Women's Champion, pretty much came out there and stopped Mia Yim, pushing her off the ladder, falling very hard, by the way, through the ladder, too. And I know people were talking about her condition today, which I guess some people were concerned, but she is okay. But that was a hard-ass fall she took off that ladder onto the other ladder to the outside, okay? But it cracked in half, though. But Kaylee Ray, which I guess is now the fourth team member of the Team Baszler, helped Shirai win, as Bianca Belair was out there, too. Shayna Baszler was coming out there to clap, and then next thing you know, Bayley attacked from behind. So I'm assuming Bayley took out all the women tonight with the steel chair tonight, because we never figured out who the culprit was, unless Bayley single-handedly took a chair. Because I thought it was just going to be another Raw or SmackDown women's invasion, but at least Bayley's doing her best not to make herself look like the third wheel out there and take her as a legitimate threat, because they have taken this girl as a third wheel ever since this whole triple threat feud began for them in Survivor Series. But Bayley's at least trying to keep in the loop, and I don't know what that thing she does. That's her new finish, or like she just pushed Baszler's head into the ground. I don't know what that was other than the chair shot, but they pretty much chased her off if they tried to help Baszler up. But overall, I enjoyed the ladder match. I think it was great. I just thought it was unnecessary just to gain an advantage for a War Games match, which you're going to do way more worse shit in that match than what you did tonight. This was a car wreck out there. Not in a bad way, though, but in a good way. But still, you're going to do 3 times as hard core stuff than you are going to do tonight than in this ladder match, okay? And then they took some heavy shots out there, especially Yim with that ladder to the face with blood coming from her, too. But I thought it was enjoyable. I just think, why are we doing back-to-back ladder matches, one for the women and one for the guys next week, too? You could have figured another way of just, okay, we're trying to get in advance, just do a regular match, and we'll see what goes from there. That's why I was going like, why are we going with a ladder match for? I thought that was a little bit unnecessary. I honestly do. I thought it was a little bit unnecessary. But I enjoyed it overall at the same time, also, this ladder match. But overall, NXT put on another great episode, of course, especially building into Survivor Series and War Games. I did enjoy the ladder match. I enjoyed Lee versus Strong. I did enjoy the battle promo with the transitional into the Undisputed Era coming out there. If I give the match of the night, though, I have to give it to fucking Lio Rush and Garza out there, man. That shit was fucking cold, okay? That was a cold-ass fucking match, and you didn't see it. I recommend you go watch that match right now. I recommend you really do. But overall, though, I enjoyed this show. It was really good. And everything. I know I was a little late with this review, but I had some technical problems with this computer and everything, and I had to fix some things. But other than that, I enjoyed NXT tonight. Comment, subscribe, tell me what you think about the show. Follow me on Twitter at HoodedKnight890, and have a good one out there. But yeah, really another great episode of NXT tonight, folks. I will see you guys later, and peace out.